All right, guys, I am back. Yes, I am putting in overtime tonight. Um, I did not mention this earlier when I started doing these videos. When I got back home, uh, I got a bit of bad news from my best friend. No, I'm not trying to clickbait anybody or uh, trying to get anyone's attention, but I just want to give a shout out to my best friend. He's going through a pretty traumatic ordeal. Uh, his one of his kids, um, one of his baby mamas, I should say. Uh, I don't know the circumstances behind it yet. No one knows exactly, but she is. I guess she took her own life. I think they found her, he said, I think this morning or yesterday sometime. I think he said this morning. Uh, I know her very well. They were together for a pretty extensive amount of time. They do have kids together. Uh, she was a pretty good person. She did have things that were going on in her life, demons and stuff like that. She had some physical ailments and stuff like that, and I don't know, what exactly was going through her mind, but I just want to give a shout out to my best friend. If you need me, homie, I'm always there. That's where actually I was earlier in the day. He called me when I was out and about and told me, actually, it was when I came from the mall trying to get my screen fixed on my phone, and he called me and told me. And I actually just saw her this past Friday. She was on the fourth floor of the hospital I work in, and she was in one of the rooms, and we made eye contact, but we're actually not allowed to go in the rooms and converse with patients when we're on the clock, unless we're in there cleaning the room or doing floor care or something like that. So I wasn't able to talk to her, but it's sad that you know something like that happened. So shout out to my homeboy, my best friend. Might as well say my brother, because he was one of the first guys I met when I first moved to Brunswick, Georgia, um, back in the early 90s. And me and him have been uh, stuck together like glue since we met. So keep your head up, homie. I hope the kids are okay. And if you need me anytime, day or night, I'm always there. Hit me up. Let me know. Um, we can go shoot the ball around like we used to and talk, or whatever you want to do. But I'm always here for you, homie. So, with that being said, as you can tell from here, this is 10. This is my top 10 sweetest fragrances, and I just went through and I looked through my whole entire collection, and I wanted to keep it just sweet fragrances, not fruity and stuff like that. Some gourmands are in here, uh, but I wanted to stay away from the fruity ones, the ones that smell like plums and the fruity stuff. Um, because I have an idea for another video for those fragrances. So these are just some sweet, super sweet, syrupy ass fragrances that I have in my collection. These are the top ones, I should say. Uh, some of these you've seen already throughout the day. I've done video on some fragrances and they have popped up, but for the most part, these are actually the sweetest fragrances I have in my collection, period. So without any further ado, this is no particular order. I'm just going to pick up shit and go. So first up, I'm going to go with Perry Ellis M. As everybody knows, this is a real super sweet fragrance. but it is very sexy, very sensual. Women do tend to like this. I'm not going to give you no breakdowns on this because, you know, you can go back and watch my older videos, or you can do the homework yourself. But if you know about these fragrances, then you already know what they're about. So first up, Perry Ellis M. And before I go any further, I did have two honorable mentions that I forgot to stick in here. And both of these actually smell like one fragrance in particular. And when you see what I'm about to show you, you already know what it is. This is Instinct Pour Homme, which smells like Invictus. It's pretty sweet. And the next one is Winter, which is prescribed. Well, not prescribed, but you know, you guys told me about this fragrance, which also smells like Invictus also. This one was $6.99 for the 100 ml bottle, and this does not last on my skin about 2 hours, and that's it. And this one actually lasts longer. It was $12.99 from TJ Maxx, and it's a pretty decent fragrance. I just hate the bottle. So with that out of the way, first up was Perry Ellis. Next up, Amen, Thierry Mugler. Y'all already know what this is about. Has a tar note, but it is kind of, well, not kind of, but seriously sweet, almost gourmandish like. But I like it. No complaints here. Do not wear it in. I don't recommend wearing any of these fragrances in the summertime. Spring maybe because it's still a little cool, but these mostly are fall and wintertime type fragrances. So do not wear these in the extreme heat. But this is Amen by Thierry Mugler. Next up, Calvin Klein. This is a super sweet, syrupy type fragrance, but one of the best fragrances that Calvin Klein has put out that I can think of. This is Reveal by Calvin Klein. This shit is super sweet. I do not recommend anyone wearing this in any heat, period. This thing will choke the life out of anyone around. This is Calvin Klein's Reveal. And you can pick this one up for at least about 15, 20 bucks. Perry Ellis, same thing, about 15 bucks, maybe cheaper. And this one you probably will find for 25, 30 bucks. And next up, we're going to go with, let me clean some of this out of the way. Next up, we're going to go with Aura, which is another fragrance that reminds me of Invictus. We have a lot of Invictus impersonators on here. Damn good fragrance. Has pretty good projection. Pretty decent longevity. I don't complain about it. Don't wear it much because, like I said, I have a coworker who wears this way too much. So that is Aura, and you can pick this up for like 20 some odd dollars, either on a Armoff website or Fragrance X, Fragrance Net. You can pick up almost any of these, I should say. Next up, this is one I definitely do not recommend anyone wearing in the heat. This is Salvatore Ferragamo Uomo. Pretty damn good bottle presentation. I like the Ferragamo written down on both sides. Almost kind of like some grip. The atomizer is great on this. Very good smelling fragrance. Has the note of tiramisu in it. Very, very gourmandish. Very, very powerful. Not overspray. Next up, we're going to go with one that people talked about I've heard a lot of other reviewers talk about this fragrance, and I was interested in it. I smelled it one day in Ulta, and I wanted it real bad because I fell in love with it. I like the bottle. I don't like this thing on the top of it. The price was a little steep, but it did come down some, and I did purchase it. And it is Givenchy or Givenchy, however you want to say it, pie. And I don't like this piece on the top. It sucks. It is corny as hell, and I wish they wouldn't have put this shit on here. I actually thought it was part of the top that you could just pull up, and I almost broke it. But that's not the top. You just flip this back or forward, and I prefer back, and then you spray. Very sweet fragrance. Do not overspray this one either. It will overpower you. And this one cost me about around 40 some odd dollars, I think, at the time, from Ulta. This is Givenchy or Givenchy, however you want to say it, pie. Next up, one that I bought, it was a lot of hype behind. A lot of people say they like this one better than they like the original. And also they love Privé, which is another flanker. And this is 1 Million Lucky by Paco Rabanne. Another super sweet ass fragrance. But it is more of a grown man's type scent like Privé. It's not as sweet as the original 1 Million. I like this. It just did not get me the compliments that everyone portrayed it to be able to do. So 1 Million Lucky. And I found this one in TJ Maxx at the time. This is a 50 ml bottle, and I think I paid like $45 for this. Next up, this is Azzaro Wanted. This is another one I smelled a while back before I actually got it in my possession. And I was not able to buy it because the retail price was high as hell at the time. And I could not find it anywhere else. I actually found it at TJ Maxx around Christmas or a little after Christmas. I missed out on my opportunity being cheap. And my friend actually bought this for me when we were in Savannah, Georgia. And I think she paid like 80 or 90. I think it was 80 some odd dollars for this. Very sweet fragrance. Do not overspray. The bottle presentation is nice. It looks like the barrel of a revolver. Atomizer on this thing is great. Women love this juice. I do recommend you waiting and trying to find this at retail somewhere, because paying full price for this, I don't think it's worth paying retail for. I could be wrong. Some people may think it is worth it, but I don't think so. When I know for a fact that this has been in a discounter before and I just missed my opportunity. So, Azzaro Wanted. And next to the last, I'm going to go with YSL Lana de l'Homme. Another super sweet fragrance. One that actually does not give me great performance. I do not get great projection or great longevity out of this. Very sweet fragrance. It is actually very, very seductive. Women actually love this one also. I love it. I have used it maybe 2 or 3 times since I've had it. I actually bought this by mistake. I was actually buying YSL Lana, and I picked up the wrong box and didn't realize it because the girl took it out of my hand and walked it to the counter for me as I was still looking. And when I paid for it, it was already in the bag. So, my mistake. But I'm glad I have it. It's a nice fragrance. I like it a lot. That's YSL's Lana de l'Homme. And last but not least, And my super sweet ass fragrances by the house of Jean-Paul Gaultier. This is Ultra Mall or Ultra Male, however the hell you want to say it. And for those of you who have been known to take a can opener and try to open up the top, you don't have to do that. You just grab it by the bottom and twist or pry it open, and it comes open like so. Fragrance sits in the stand. Pop it out. I don't know what the hell I did with the safety precaution thing that was in it, but whatever happened to it, I don't know. But this is a super sweet fragrance, great for the clubs. I think I paid $60 some odd for this. It actually was on sale some kind of way. I think I applied for a credit card or something and it didn't go through, but just applying gave me a discount. And then I think the lady gave me a little bit of an extra discount. So it went from like 80, 90 something dollars and it dropped all the way down to 60 some odd dollars, which made me get it. Because if it would have stayed at the $80 range, I would not have this. So with that being said, this is the last fragrance of this list. This is Jean-Paul Gaultier Ultra Mall. So, I don't know, everyone might be watching games or whatever they're doing. I had about 2 viewers at one point in time. Everybody, I guess, clicked back out. And so, it is what it is. I appreciate everyone who checks out this video after it's already uploaded. I hope you guys have a great night. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.